You got 60 grand
from $200.
Yeah, $200.
200.
And that's not your biggest.
No. My biggest was I can't, but it was the coin that the Blue Wizard made, right? So I traded him all my Ethereum, and then I got this coin, and he took us to dinner. He told us, "You're gonna be whales, basically." I don't know if you know what a whale is. But he's like, "You're gonna be the whales. You have to wait 2 months, and then you can pull out 10%." But 10% will be like thousands and thousands of dollars. And I'm watching it go up, right? So I gave him like, I want to say 10 or 20 Ethereum or something for all his coins that he had made, because he created his own crypto. And I was because we had a driver. Me and my business partner had a driver that he had hired and took on. We're in the car, I'm asleep, and he wakes me up. And he's like, "Oh, how's it feel to be a millionaire?" And I'm like, "What?" And I look at my account, and I got $7 million in there. $7 million fucking dollars. And I'm like, what?
Hey, what's up, guys? This is What Men Talk About. This is Carlitos, and we have a special guest, Mr. Mike. So today we're just gonna be interviewing Mike. I used to work with him. We worked at this construction company for a little bit. He looked for a different path. He knew better path than I did. I stayed. He left. He was like, "You know what? I can make more money somewhere else. I'm just gonna leave." And then a couple years later, he comes back, and he comes back all with that swag and all that stuff, man. Like, man. So tell me, man, what did you do after you left that job? Like, I know I want to ask you about when you were starting and everything, but I want to know what happened after you left that job.
Well, really, what I benefited the most from was crypto. I got into crypto. I honestly didn't know what the hell I was doing, but luckily I found some people that I could trust, and they took my investment and they made me a lot of money. He was the brains, I was the money, and
because I remember when you came to work with us, you were doing your own hustle. Like, when I asked you, like, what do you do for a living? Oh, well, I sell stuff on eBay, and you were working at Rubio's, right? Yeah, I don't know if you want me to tell that.
No, you're good.
So you were working at this restaurant, and at the same time you were making pretty good money. I remember you were talking about 10 grand a month or something like that, 8 grand a month, just from selling eBay. And I was like, man, I used to sell on eBay all the time. So did you continue? So you went on to crypto after you left this job. So
I honestly concluded that I never stopped doing eBay and Amazon selling. So that's a part of my normal routine.
When did you start doing that?
That's what kind of got me out of homelessness, actually. I went homeless years back, taking care of my mom. We didn't understand mental illness and all that, so we went through a lot of stuff.
Wow.
We had to overcome a lot of hurdles dealing with her. And after I dealt with my homelessness, someone who helped me tremendously was Brian Hayden and John Grimes. They're like amazing people. But yeah, I just John flew me to Maryland, and he taught me how to do eBay selling, basically. And I took his system and kind of reformatted it a little bit, Like I said, he was the one who, style. He's the one that pounded the pavement, and I just got to kind of critique and modify the things.
You drew the lines, you put the pavement,
you drew the lines. He did I feel like he did the hard work, and then he taught me the basic structure of it, and I just made it a little bit better. Iron sharpens iron. That was a quote. But yeah, it was just a lot of online selling, and we got into the crypto side of things, and that just boomed. That's what actually let me experience all these things.
The same guy that taught you eBay, he was the same guy that was into crypto?
No, my crypto business partners is I don't know if he wants me to say his name, but we have the same initials. His name's Mike. I'm not gonna tell you his last name because he's all weird about that stuff. But yeah, we have the same initials in our names, so that we hit it off. He was just that guy. Everybody thought he was weird, but my senses didn't tell me anything was up with him or wrong. He's just kind of weird guy. I'm kind of weird too, at least people tell me so. So he pitched me the idea. He came in Rubio's one day. He's like, "Oh, I need $10,000 to make these rigs and da 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 da." And I'm like, "I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but it sounds correct. So I'm gonna give you $10,000." He stayed right across the street from the place. So.
Oh, you're talking about the actual the crypto rigs?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he built the rigs. He showed me everything. We were mining Ripple and Ethereum and all that. And then we met this guy. We call him the Blue Wizard. I don't want to say his name. So everybody's all weird with their names being out there when it comes to crypto.
So did you meet this guy at Rubio's or
my business partner? Yeah,
oh.
He used to come in and like do stuff for them, to fix the machines.
Oh, so you worked there?
He didn't work there. He just somehow knows how to do stuff.
Working on retail, you get to meet a lot of people, dude.
Yeah.
A lot of people. Like when I was in sales, I met a lot of people. So it's
very interesting.
But you got to take advantage of it. Like I had my cousin. I appreciate my cousin a lot. He's a very smart guy. That he's traveled the world and everything. He told me he sent me an email a long time ago that said, "Knowledge is power. Is not power. Knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power."
Yeah, because you can know. I know a lot of people like that, and I wonder how they teach me things,
right?
But then they can't implement what they're teaching me for themselves. I'm like, what? Because I'll take it. People were amazed at that too. Like all the Smash Bros. Players I used to, because I won all those tournaments.
That's right.
And
This guy used to be a champion of Smash Bros. Like maybe somebody in Sacramento knows him. He used to have hair like this, an afro.
Zach knows. 15 years.
Yeah, man.
Zach
nobody could beat him on my Smash Bros. Man.
Yeah, we ran Sac for like 14 years. Me and my brother Melvin. It was fun, man. I really appreciate the Sac scene. I feel like some of them kind of hated me for the way that I was, but they didn't understand at the time. They're like, you don't even care. You don't care about the game. You don't even care about getting better. You just want the money. I'm like, yeah, bro, I'm homeless.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like you live with your mom.
It's not like you could take steroids to freaking play better video games.
You could take Addy, but I didn't like doing that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It keeps you up, and it's just weird. Even though I can get prescribed because I have ADHD, but it's fine.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know you can have ADHD and OCD at the same time. It's weird.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, they told me you can. I was like, that's why this shit's like this. Because I'm all over the place, yet I hyper focus on things, which makes no sense.
So tell us about the time where you were homeless, because not a lot of people go homeless, and not a lot of people go homeless and then become successful.
Yeah, that was a roller coaster. So I basically went homeless taking care of my mom. Like when we moved to Sacramento, I was like 18, and I bounced around from Sac to Hayward and back to the Bay Area, and I didn't really solidify myself here until I was about 22. I was about 22 years old, because we first came when I was 18. At 22 we stayed. I was tired of moving around, so I got my own place and all that. My mom and dad fell on hard times. I remember going to, I think it was Richmond, because I got a phone call or something about my mom not doing well. I go down there, she's staying in this horrible place. It's like crackheads, and the room was the size of like a shoebox. It seemed they didn't have a bathroom in their apartment.
Wow.
You had to go it was a public apartment complex, or a public bathroom for the apartment complex.
Wow.
Like a dorm.
Yeah, so you could go in there and get raped and stuff. My dad used to have to watch her when she bathes or goes in there and does stuff. So I came in, and it was just the most horrible situation I've seen. And I remember my dad telling me, don't worry about me, just take care of your mother. So I grabbed her.
How old were you back then?
I want to say early 20s. I had to be in my 23,
you were still
24.
a kid, man.
Yeah. Still learning.
Yeah.
And like I said, we didn't know about mental illness. Like, oh, you're crazy, whatever. But
at 20, different. You barely start like touching the surface. Like I barely know about the world. Like you
Especially
basically
with my parents.
Right. You basically throwing at 20. You just thrown into the world and figure it out. That's what it sounds like to me.
That's basically what happened. Sink or swim. But being in that position to help my parents, I don't know how kids let their parents fall and go into rest homes and stuff like that. I've always felt that because, I didn't ask to be here, and it's their obligation to take care of me because you decided to do what you did with mom.
Right.
I still appreciate the lifestyle that they gave us. So I'm going to give what I can back to my parents. So that was me trying to take care of her and all that. Bringing her to my place. She stayed with me for a while, and she just started losing it. I didn't realize. I was like, she's going crazy. She pulled a knife on my girlfriend. I had this sweet Ukrainian and Moldovan chick named Anna. She's she's one of the two women that I've had in my life that made me understand that all the rest of the women are treating me poorly.
She was foreign.
She was foreign. They're always foreign and just amazing.
Yeah.
She used to work on a farm and had to deal with animals and stuff. So she knows hard work and she appreciates a good man.
You were lucky. You got to taste the good stuff first.
Yeah. That's why I find it funny when people were, chasing me with pitchforks and torches about my perspective on things. When it's like, no, I love women. They think I hate women for some reason. I'm like, no, I love women. I just know that the women nowadays aren't really women. They're not treating me like real women do.
Right.
And they're like, oh, you expect to be treated like a king? Yes, because I treat you like a queen.
Exactly.
So, isn't that how it's supposed to go?
Exactly.
But apparently I'm just supposed to give everything and then get screwed at the end.
Exactly.
That's how they feel. But
that's how it is.
That's a whole different thing.
Anyways.
That's a whole different topic.
Yeah.
So what is it that led you to what happened that you became homeless? You said
my mom went crazy. Well, so I have this thing like basically everyone hates me because I get really good at stuff because I give an obscene amount of time to things. I really invest my time in things that I like. You
get passionate about things.
Yeah, I'm very passionate. If I discover that I have an interest in something, I devote myself completely. Right, that's why I became the best in Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi 2 in the world. Undoubtedly the
in
best.
The world, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I had, if you don't know about these guys, but Chudat and Ken were like top level Smash Bros players way back in the day, and they thought they were hot shit, and me and my brother just took all their money. And they literally told us it's as if you guys were born playing this game. And then we heard our names over the loudspeaker. This was back when I was a scrub. I went to my first big tournament in Smash Bros was called Super Champ Combo, and that's where we beat Ken and Chudat. And I got to meet Isaiah and all the top level players. Then right after we took their money, I look at Chud. I'm like, "You're about to rape me in Smash, aren't you?" He's like, "Yeah." And he went out there. He blew me out. I was a scrub at that point.
Have you read the book Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins? Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins.
No,
because it sounds like
David Goggins.
Yeah,
you kind of look like him.
Yeah.
A little like a younger version of him.
So he talks about something called taking the soul out of people. Mm-hmm. Like, for example, if someone tries to hurt you, you basically take all that anger, all that negativity, and turn it around and become like better than them.
Yeah,
sort of like that.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like that you were coming into that point where you got destroyed, and then you just were like, okay, this can't happen anymore.
Yeah,
you became competitive. Yeah. Is that what happened?
Pretty much. Like, I hate losing. I understand that I have to lose in order to get better, but if it's within my control, I like to win. I'm not a sore loser. Like, you can see me on the Salty Smash videos. They're like, oh, he doesn't like to shake people's hands when he loses. I'm like, no. Like I told them before, I use what they call the crystal fortune-telling ball. I was like, wobbling is cheating. And I told them this years ago. And I told every single, I made this statement. I said, every Ice Climbers player will not be in business. They won't have a career later on when people start realizing that what I say is fact. But they didn't start agreeing with what, my perspective on things until top professional players started complaining about it, like Mewtwo King, and then Mango didn't want to really say anything, but he was like, it's stupid. Realistically, everyone knows it's stupid. Now it's banned, and no Ice Climbers players really got a career. They switch to Martha, they do other things. I'm like, it's funny how I'm always right, yet they want to attack me at the time. It's like they can't assimilate it at the time. And then later on, since they've been exposed to it enough, they're like, "Oh, okay, we was actually right, but we're not gonna, give him credit. Mm-hmm. We're gonna still make it like he's a crazy person, and we're just gonna go on with life."
So you were playing Smash when you were basically you went homeless first, or you start playing Smash?
I was playing Smash before I went homeless. Yeah, that's one of the ways I was like getting money too. But I really didn't start making a lot of money from Smash Bros until actually after I went homeless.
Because you were probably hungry.
Yeah, and my friend hungry. Brian, I lived with him. He let me stay with him, and he orchestrate tournaments just for me to win. Because he's like, oh, I could make this tournament. You can win it, and then you can pay me rent. I'm like, yeah, sure. So that's what we did. I just win. I literally come out crushed in my eyes, like, I don't know what's going on. Blow everybody out, and then take their money and then give it to Brian, and I go back to the room and go to sleep. That was literally my day. Yeah.
How much money were you making from these tournaments?
When I calculated it, the good times, which it was a lot. It was all good times, really. I was roughly making $1,200 a week. From just playing Smash Bros.
Damn.
Yeah. On top of
that's
eBay
every kid's dream,
right?
That's a lot of people.
That's what I remember telling my mom. I was like, "Hey, remember you used to tell me that I was gonna waste my life and yada yada yada. And I should do other stuff and play video games."
You're the 0.001%, man. Damn. Making money off of having fun playing video games.
But it's hard, man. It's really hard. And that was years of just playing and figuring, making it become second nature. So now when I pick up things, it's just kind of like, after you give me a month, I'm gonna seem like I've been playing it for a year. So
it's interesting that you mentioned that. So you're saying that the fact that you play video games in a competitive level, that helped you with later on life with basically competing in a bigger level.
My quote is that life is the same as a video game if you take it seriously enough. If you take them both seriously enough, they're the exact same. Every issue that I've had in gaming, I have in life. So when you fix one of them, it like automatically fixes or helps you adapt in the situations of the other that are presented, because they're the same. I sound crazy, but when you get deep enough into gaming, you start to connect the dots and realize that there are bridges.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I think about all the issues I had in Smash Bros. I'm like, I'm that exact same way in life, where everything has to be perfect, everything has to be this. That's the OCD. Everything all has to be this way. So I just figure out a way to kind of try and combat the OCD and stuff. Just do some stuff on the fly sometimes. Just throw a back air out to see what happens.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of times people are like, I don't even know what you're doing. You shouldn't even be winning. You're just doing stupid stuff. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm just doing stuff to see what you do. I'm reacting to you.
Getting out of the comfort zone.
Yeah. Because I always tell people, I'm not super good. I'm just better than you. I don't even know what
that sounds like you, man. That sounds like Carlitos in boxing.
Yeah. Oh, you're a boxer?
I was a boxer many years ago.
Okay.
Took a 10-year break, and now I finally started training again.
He lost a lot of weight, man. If you guys watch the videos, like the old videos that we have, you can tell the difference. This guy is half the size now.
I still got 80 more pounds to go, but
you wouldn't believe that I was like 205, 210 of just muscle, right? Look at me, I'm a shrimp now. Everyone that sees me now? I haven't weighed myself forever. 170, 180, somewhere around there.
So you lost 30 pounds of muscle.
40 pounds. Well, because I was at 170 at that time, 170. So I was like, that's 40 pounds. When I was at Brian's, I was like, I looked down one day and I was like, the fact that this is, I'm just so used to having meat everywhere and like feeling like I got shoulder pads on. And I looked down, I was like, wow.
I feel naked.
It's like swarm of locusts just got to me, just ate everything up. I'm like, wow. And the only people that really know, because everyone thinks I exaggerate when I say I used to be swole, I used to be a big dude. They're like, oh, okay, because everyone exaggerates, puts extra on it. It's it's only the people. Huh?
Do you have any pictures?
No. And the reason why is because of my shitty fucking older brother, right? I used to ask why girls, why y'all take so many pictures? What the fuck's the pictures for? Let's just do stuff. It wasn't until we lost our stores with all my stuff where I was a kid, being a clown, like working professionally, making all that money all of our life. Because there wasn't social media. We had actual pictures, photo albums. And all that shit got lost when my oldest brother didn't pay the storage from my mom.
Oh,
right?
That's sad.
We lost our whole history. All this, where I was blonde. I literally had golden blonde curls when I was a kid. I won baby pageants and all types of shit. And
wow.
None of that will ever be known. And I'm like, I'm the only person. My family are the only people that know this, right? And it just dawned on me like how important your past and pictures are.
It is, and that's why I take a lot of photos now, because I had the same thing. Like when I was doing karate back in the day, I was fit. I didn't know that back then.
Yeah.
I was fit. I looked good, and no wonder I had so much attraction from girls going after me, right? But I thought I was still fat because I was a fat kid when I was a kid. I was a fat. So I don't have photos, man. Oh my God, it pisses me off so much that I didn't like taking photos. I was so like, I don't like taking photos. Like try to being cool, like trying to be cool. I don't like to take photos, bro. I regret so much, man, because those are, it's gold.
Yeah.
It's gold, man. Like, and talking about photos, I was talking to my wife not that long ago, because I'm so into AI, right? I'm so into AI. Imagine this, bro. Have you watched Harry Potter?
Yeah.
Right.
I've seen a few of the movies.
Right. But the when they open the newspaper, all the pictures move and everything.
Yeah.
Can you imagine this? Have you seen the goggles that Apple just made? And I know I'm going
VR,
off tangent, but I want to tell you guys this. The VR from Apple. Okay, so that's like virtual reality and all that. Can you imagine this? Let's say in the future, not right now, but let's say I tell AI, here's a photo of my grandpa. Here's a couple videos of my grandpa. Put all that together, bring my grandpa back to life. Bring him back to life. I'll put the goggles on, and because it's virtual reality, I think there should be a way that literally wearing that, I could see probably my grandpa moving and talking, because it can replicate your voice too.
Yeah.
And sitting on the couch.
Elon Musk was I see something he had made where he can like talk to you as anyone. He was like Morgan Freeman and all these different people.
Yeah, you can do that with AI.
I'm like, what the fuck? That's
There's
crazy.
an app.
You know how
download,
people
it's not on the App Store.
Scams are gonna be so wild. When that comes out.
Yeah, crazy stuff.
Hi, I'm your grandmother. Remember me? I need some money. Like, okay, Granny, here's $5,000.
Yeah, I don't know how this is gonna be going on, man, but that's gonna be tough. Anyways, going back to the story. So how did you get out of being homeless, man? That is so big.
I can tell you from experience, the way that shit is set up, you can't get out of homelessness on your own. That's what's so fucked up. Because it requires you to have a stable place to receive mail. That's why you gotta use your friends' places or whatever. You gotta have a place to receive things and ship things from. You just have to have this stability that a homeless person isn't provided. Like, the whole issue with homelessness, it would be easy to get out of homelessness if the other homeless people weren't like crabs in a barrel. They literally take all of your stuff. That's why you see those homeless guys with the carts, and they got all their stuff, and you're like, why are you carrying all that around? You can't leave it anywhere because someone will take it. Mm-hmm. So you can never rise above a certain threat. You can't get past a certain threshold, right?
Pretty much they bring you back.
Yeah, crabs in a barrel. Oh, where do you think you going? Come here. If I'm not getting out, you're not either. That's what they do. So it takes someone realizing your value, which is what my friend John did. He was like, bro, like, I've seen you perform, basically. Like, this ain't you. You've been in this rut for so long. Like, yeah, no, I just can't get out. I don't know how to do it. Tried. I got to the point where I'm a fucking minimum wage star. Like, anywhere I go, fast food wise, I expect to be hired, just because of when I go to places, they're like, why are you applying for a normal position? You should be a manager, just because of my experience that I have with Taco Bell, McDonald's, all the Del Taco, all the different chains, right? I've worked at every one for a ridiculous amount of time. So they expect me to be a manager. So the fact that at that point I couldn't get a job was like an all-time low. I was getting turned down by McDonald's, and that makes no sense.
This wasn't in the 2008.
No, this was when I was homeless.
Was it 2008, 2007? Is that where?
I graduated 2005, so it
was before that.
18, 19, 22. It was around there.
How long were you homeless for?
I didn't really pay attention to that amount of time.
A couple weeks?
It was like
a couple years.
Quite some, like, I ran through a bunch of tournaments. It had to be like a couple years, maybe a year. We were at Brian's for a while. It takes a lot.
And your mom was with you, right?
No. My mom had. So I had my place. What made it all crumble was, I told you I was going out with that Moldovan Ukrainian chick, right? Everything was great. So her cousin who was our manager, started hating on me because I used to sit there and flirt with her on the door and swing around. All the employees were mad at me because they're like, he don't have to do no work and he just talks to Dina all day. Her name was Dina. And she's like, yeah, I have to make you do stuff because everybody's mad and yada, yada, yada. I'm like, that's fine. I get it. People hating. She got mad at the fact that I chose Anna over her.
Oh, okay.
Right? So once she fit, because I heard stories from other people that she was a straight stalker. She drive past them when they're dealing with someone else, just follow them and stuff. Oh, I don't want to deal with that crazy shit, right? So she got mad that I chose Anna over her. And she was the one that told Anna's parents, like, oh yeah, she's going out with a black guy. I was gonna say Russian. You can't call her Russian, she'll be ready to cut you.
Oh yeah.
Don't call me Russian.
Oh yeah.
She's Moldovan, Ukrainian. Them, just everyone. I thought Ukrainians and Moldovians are usually more cool than the Russians. Like, even though they're kind of like all similar in a way, their shit happens.
The cultural level is different, I guess.
Yeah, I view it as like Ukrainians went through struggles. The Russians are the more kind of like high sedity ones. That's why they view the Ukrainians in that way, because they're like, oh, you're lower class, but really y'all kind of almost the same people in a way. Y'all migrated and did different shit. It's like Tongans and Samoans.
Yeah,
the same shit.
Mexicans and Guatemalans.
Yeah, and like y'all are different.
Recently found out that Ukrainians and Russians speak different language.
They do.
Yeah. I thought it was.
Yeah, like in, I forget which one. In Russian, a cat is kot, and in Ukrainian, it's like kishka. But y'all started that. It was Russia, and y'all went this way, and everybody fought and shit happened, and now y'all a different place because of your experiences, whatever. We accept that, but realize that you did kind of come from the same area, and they be hating me for that. I like history. I'm a history guy. I read about the Romans. I read about the Ottoman Empire, all that shit. So I'm like, I guess you just don't read enough to know that you actually come from the same area. You just migrated. But she was an amazing. Oh my gosh, she was an amazing.
She was a hottie.
She was hot. She was short. She was amazing. She loved me. I loved her. It's.
But your mom wanted to kill her.
Yeah, but my mom was going crazy. She's going like.
Yeah,
imagine walking out into because I'm in my room and I see this flickering light on the hallway wall. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? So I walk out there, and she's literally just standing at the stove, and it's engulfed in flames. I'm like, oh! I start throwing water. I'm putting salt everywhere. Like, what the fuck? You just standing there? And that was when it hit me. Oh, she's losing it. Well, what really hit me, the main indicator was when I tried this stuff she made, it was pink. I don't know what the fuck it was. It looked like pink
she was
slop.
trying to cook.
Yeah, she was trying to cook. And it tastes like fucking garbage.
Oh, man.
But
poor lady.
I'm so used to my mom having this magic touch where she can actually put a boot on a plate and serve it to you. And you'll eat it and keep eating it. You're looking at her like, why am I eating this boot? That's disgusting, but it's so good. So I'm used to that. It doesn't matter. She can take anything and make it good for you.
Yeah.
So the fact that she could make this pink weird shit look good or taste good was the indicator that she had lost it. I was like, oh wow, she lost it. And that was when the downward spiral really happened. I saw her like cooking. She was sun cooking greens in a can.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no, I was like, oh shit, it's not good right now. She's lost it.
Like, what's going on?
You really can't say much because you'll whoop your ass, man. She'll get all the emotional.
Like, I mean, I had lost my job at McDonald's because basically
you were flirting with the other Ukrainian chick.
Yeah, because Dina was hating on me. She tried to cut my hours and do all this weird shit because I was fucking with Anna. So there was this random guy, Russian dude, who got hired there, and he was fraudulent, completely fraudulent. He tried to steal the paperweight computers in the back that you do the stuff on. When they hire you, they have you go back there and you.
Oh wow!
He stole that, put it in a garbage can, and walked it outside. They have him on camera, right? So this is what I realized later on. I was like, I could have sued these fuckers. I didn't think about it then.
Yeah.
I just kind of like whatever. I went homeless because of all that. So I had other things to think about, but. The dude got caught, and he said, oh, well, Mike put me up to it. So they're like, yeah, it was Mike. Like, he's the one on camera taking it. He orchestrated this, but because he's Russian and he goes to your church, if he says Mike put him up to it, it's Mike now.
So they blame you?
They blame me, but they didn't fire me because of that. They fired me because I was late, and I'm always fucking.
They
late.
used that because they couldn't use the other.
Yeah, they couldn't use the other shit, but they were just building up a case. They're like, oh, we're gonna fire him because he's late all the time. But I got fired because I was fucking Anna, not Dina. That's really what it was. After that, I lost my job at Walmart because this fucking bitch, Shauna Marie, her name was Shauna Marie. She literally followed me everywhere. And this is what I tell you, I've been hated on my entire life. From the clown troupe, when my teacher hated on me, didn't want me to work for Cirque du Soleil because she was jealous, to the baseball stuff where they picked me up because they didn't want me to be on any other team because I'd make them lose due to how good I was. Everyone hates on me all the fucking time. And I don't understand why, because I don't do anything to people. But it's just because of my accomplishments and what I'm capable of. And I'm not conceited. They're like, oh, you're arrogant and this and that. No, how is it arrogance if I've done these things and I'm explaining?
Facts.
They're facts. They're fucking facts. But people's arguments make no sense.
Yeah.
That's why I tell you, people can't come to me and have a discussion and then have it out debate me or prove me wrong. They never prove me wrong. They're always like, okay, I'm gonna just be silent and nod. That's fine, but when you're on social media, we're on here, you're flaming me for stuff, but you don't have an adequate argument.
So playing Smash is really what got you out of that hole.
It was John Grimes that got me out of it. Brian Hayden and John Grimes. Brian helped me stabilize in a way where I didn't sink completely because he let me stay with him, and he made tournaments for me. He really helped us out, and that's why, like now, he needs me to help him move. He needs me to do stuff. I do $4,000, $2,000, $3,000 jobs for him for free because of how he helped me. I reciprocate. I remember the people that got me out of Schitt's Creek. And John, I help him. He just told me the other day, like, oh, you don't have to do this and this and this for my brother and yada yada yada. I'm like, no, bro, like y'all help me. Y'all are family. I don't forget the people that helped me get here. Right. Where I can fucking put rings on my fingers and have all this stuff. That's you don't do that. That's bad karma.
Yeah.
So
then that's where you like, because it sounds like when you were doing Smash, you realized that you had whatever you put your mind into, you will get it.
Which is why I said, oh, if I had the chance to sit next to Mango and just play him, I wouldn't have turned out like Alex 19. I'm sorry, Alex. You're a good guy. I love you and all that, but man, you should be number 2 at this point, or like within top 5, because you got to sit next to Mango, bro. Like, no, if I got that, man, I had to. Tommy X is the guy that started me off, and he was complete trash, but Tom was still good for his basics and fundamentals, and he really taught us, and that's how we skyrocketed and shot off, But that's how I am. If I just need to be around the best person to figure out the best strategy, then I can implement that, and and use into your own thing. Strategy. Yeah.
See, that's what Japanese do. Like that, I read this somewhere on the internet. That's what Japanese do. The Japanese did not invented a lot of things, but they make things better.
That's what I do. I make things better because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna OCD this shit out and realize, oh, you were just lazy right here. That's what I did with John's eBay stuff. I probably would have failed at eBay if I had to start it, but the fact that he gave me the ground level, he solidified the ground level. I was like, oh, well, you could just build it this way, and that's how it goes. It's like my brother Melvin. We literally won tournaments that we would have lost because I sent him in first to take because he's better at I call it plowing through the snow. He's better at plowing the snow than I am. You got this huge field of snow. He's just gonna go through and plow it all. Oh, I'm gonna go through it, but he doesn't. If I know the terrain, I'm gonna traverse it or travel it better than you do. But when I don't know what's there, I get fucked up. So that's why I send Melvin in first. Go get it, Melvin. Do your stuff, your unorthodox stuff, and let me see. I beat this dude. His name was Mr. Ganondorf. Shout out to my boy, Mr. Ganondorf. He's a cool dude. He was playing Ganon. It was me and Melvin had just learned. Brawl Plus. I think it's Brawl Plus. Brawl Plus or something like that. Or no. Project M. It was Project Melee. We don't know shit. We just play Melee and we're good at the game. So it kind of,
when you play video games, you're good at one game. Usually you pick up the rest pretty
if they're
fast.
similar enough. So I'm watching this guy play Melvin. I didn't know any of the shit he was doing. He was chain grabbing him, doing all this weird Ganon stuff. He fucked Melvin up. We didn't know anything about Ganon. From watching him on the big screen, I then went into the match next and decimated this dude. And he's like, holy shit, you're so much better than your brother. And I didn't tell him like, oh, no, it's just because I watched you and I analyze all your tactics. I literally watched him play Melvin and realized, okay, Ganon has this, he does this way, and I had what I needed now. I downloaded him. I didn't tell him, but if I had went in first, I would have definitely lost. So, me and Melvin made a good team.
Where do you think you got the most success from? What was like the biggest win that you've had?
I say crypto.
Crypto, huh?
Sadly, even though you can't really do anything with it now. I feel bad because everyone comes to me like, hey, I did this and this and la la la. You got scammed or you're not gonna make any money. It was like a phase,
and the phase is gone.
And the phase is kind of gone. I hope it comes back. I still got
it might come back.
Billions of all these other different cryptos.
There were phases before, like when Bitcoin started. I remember seeing it being sold. Like I remember back in 2000, like early 2010, like somewhere there, probably before. I remember reading something about the digital currency and everything was gonna be your digital currency. I remember talking about it. I didn't know how much it was back then. I'm pretty sure it was a couple dollars or maybe cents back then.
Bought it back then.
Oh, I know, man. I know. And then I saw it. Then it got big again around 2012, 13. I can't remember exactly, but it was like $3,000, and then it went from $3,000 to $6,000. And then
we started at 7 when he came in and talked about that rig at Rubio's, and we built.
It was at 7. Yeah, and then it went to 20.
We got all the way up to 60, right?
It went all the way to 60.
I think we're somewhere around 30.
Right now, 30. Yeah.
Right now, I haven't even checked it. Like I haven't even looked at my sheet because I get depressed. I like the Doge and all that stuff. It's depressing.
So it sounds like you lost a little bit of money.
Oh no. I mean, well, technically, compared to what I could have had, if you think about the potential gains I could have had, yes, I lost money. But if you're looking at it from the perspective of what I had, as opposed to what I had and then what I ended with, what I started with and I ended with, I totally gained. It's 100% profit.
That's a good way to look at it.
All right, tell us
100% profit.
All right, so how much did you start with?
Well, he was, and let's be honest, like he was making good money, like selling eBay and all that. So he started. You already. Because here's the thing, I want to say something about you, man. That he taught me a lot. He taught me a lot. So we worked at this in sales, right? Mm-hmm. And I was like, I'm a tech guy, man. I had my nice tablet. I invested a lot of stuff and a lot of money.
I remember that tablet.
Oh my god! I remember like we had to have the tablet, like an iPad, because the program to build the doors and the windows, it was on there, and we had to have it. We want to show pictures to everybody, the customers, and all that. So I went and bought the best tablet because me thinking buying the best tablet was gonna make me sell more and get more customers. Where here comes Mike. And he was working for months, and the guy still did not have a tablet. The guy was making money selling on eBay. The guy did not have a car. And I'm like, how the fuck you don't buy, like, you need it. You need the tablet. And then he goes and buys a used one. Did you buy a used one? No, he buys a used one. And he didn't even, he kept it on the box because he did not want to buy the case. I'm like, bro, the case are like $10. He's like, no, man, I gotta save my money. I'm like, damn. And look at him now, like, dude, like this guy, sometimes. He lives a better life than I do, and that is because I made stupid ass decisions. I made investments that I shouldn't have to. He made the right investments. I didn't. And that's why I wanted to interview him, because I want to learn. The more I learn from this guy, I mean, I want to be like him.
Do you still have that tablet?
I know I sold it. I got a different, more expensive one now.
What about you? Do you still have that tablet?
No, I definitely.
He
I don't
sold
know
it.
what happened. I probably sold it.
It took so long.
I don't
Dude,
have it now.
I convinced this guy. Like, I tried to talk to him. Like, you gotta buy the tablet, man. Like, you're missing out on things. Like,
He was the
I was
tablet
the one
king.
missing
Everyone
out.
was like, if you have anything to ask about tablet, ask Josue. I was like, oh, okay, well.
Here I go trying to convince you to get a tablet, and he got it for a little
Your
bit. He left.
pen was like $300 or some shit. Like, what? I don't want to buy that.
This guy, man, he didn't even want to buy a case. He carried on the box with the cover, with plastic and everything, bro. Like bro, and I'm like, but that's why he did it. That's why he was saving money. He didn't know that crypto was gonna get big.
No.
And then he was saving money. He made it. He fucking.
I
made
have
it.
so many people that I know. They're upset or just irritated with the way that I do things. They're like, you have all this shit going. You make money from this, you make money from that, and you just sit here and you do nothing. Let's buy this machine that does this. Let's do this and this and this. I'm like, look. The thing is, what happens to people is an opportunity arises, and because they've been so distracted by everything else and spending money everywhere else, they don't have enough to fund this golden opportunity. I sit and I collect funds and I just wait.
You wait till the right opportunity.
gonna exactly, and the opportunity presents itself. And you're like, that sounds right. Let me assimilate the information. It sounds like he knows what he's talking about. He's not just some dumb fuck. Okay, here you go. And look, it works.
It works.
You just have to be you have to be vigilant. You have to be patient. It just takes a lot of things. Because I thought about it, I was like, am I sitting here waiting for nothing? I could be investing in this and that and listening to these people. Then you think about the people that are telling you these things, and it's like, well, where are they?
See, and that's why, like I've said that before. When I was on my progress to my transformation, when I lost a lot of weight and everything, suddenly everybody becomes a nutritionist. Suddenly everybody becomes a personal trainer. Suddenly everybody's telling you, oh no, you should do this. Oh no, you shouldn't eat that. You should do this. And I'm like, and I was thinking the same way that you were thinking, like, okay, well, this person does not look like he takes care of himself. Why am I going to listen to this guy where this guy is telling me what to eat? So maybe I should just listen to the guy that looks like he works out.
Right. The guy that's giving you experience and results and all that stuff. You know, you can't have a fat guy talking about, I run 10,000 miles a day. Like, what? That makes no sense. But you got this huge swole dude talking about, I bench press my wife and all my kids. And then I can believe that.
Yeah.
That makes more sense. So
now, you had some money to invest in crypto.
Yeah, I was just working at Rubio's. Doing
let me ask you, man. Let me ask you this, because this is important. So you went, and I told you you're gonna sell more if you buy this tablet because the software is in here and all that. And you wouldn't have, maybe, who knows, but you went and didn't want to spend the money, which is fine, right? But then you went and bought crypto. Like something completely different. Like even millionaires will tell you not to buy, especially at that point of the time. I remember listening to all these millionaires on YouTube saying that you should not buy crypto. You should not buy crypto. And then you went and bought it. So I want to know exactly, because your mentality was you were very frugal. Like you did not spend money on anything, and I like that about you. That it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing to be like that. Yeah. But you spend the money where it needed to be spent.
$11,000 actually.
So that's
I gave him 10,000. No, I gave him 10,000 to build the rig, and I gave him 11,000, another 1,000, which made 11, to like go fly out and do what he needed to do to get the shit started and meet the people he needed to meet. Because I learned, I basically had the chance to be rich for an extended duration. I'd say
when Dogecoin was like $70.
I mean, it's not even about the crypto. It's like just what I was experiencing because of the events that were happening and what we were doing. Like we were making money. We were basically making free money, in my opinion, right? We took 10,000. So I gave him 11,000 total.
Nice, free money.
It's free. I gave him 11,000, right? He gave me back the 11,000, and then I made an extra like 3,000 to 4,000 on top of that, and I just put that in my pocket. So I was already squared and good. I had profited, and from there, I made all this money with the different cryptos and whatnot. I went to Vegas like I don't know how many times. Hollywood.
I remember
Hills.
you would post on Facebook, "Hey, who wants to go to Vegas with me?" And then you would complain because nobody could go with you because nobody had the lifestyle that you had.
I know.
I'm like, man, I wish I could go with you, bro. Come on, man, pay my bill. I'll go with you.
Right?
And you were like, no.
I would have, but my business partner was kind of like, I don't like people because they do things. I'm like, yeah, you're right. So I can't argue.
No,
so he's like, everyone that you know is gonna try and take your money, so don't talk. He was like, don't even tell people about this shit.
Yeah.
And I realized he was right.
He was right.
The whole thing, I was like, no, man, I gotta take all the people I know with me. But when you tell them about it,
people take advantage of you.
It's not even that. It's like, I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing. He's doing it all, right? I'm just giving him money. I can't tell you what to do other than tell you, hey, you should do this and then do what this guy says. But the with how crypto works, 1 second can lose you $1 million. So within the time of me telling him, hey, you should do this, and then convincing them and then having them actually give him the money, by that time, it's not even worth it. So that's what they didn't understand. So all the people I had invested in had basically lost money because they were like, oh, well, I don't know. I got to figure this out. I got to talk to my wife and this and this. And like, you know, crypto is going down or up within seconds. So it just didn't work out. So that's why I learned, don't tell people things. Just do it on your own and do what little you can for them or whatever you can for them after you've made it.
Yeah, because people do bring you back. Like, people do make you think twice.
They're skeptical.
Yeah.
They're skeptical. Yeah. I'm just in here seeming like, it's the Wild West. Fucking just shoot in this direction. And they're like, I got kids. I got this. I got that. I don't have kids. I don't have these things. So I could just throw money at stuff. No. Right?
Lucky, man.
All right.
Sometimes it works out.
Hey, tell the viewers then. How much is the most you've made on crypto? Or give us an...
Like in total?
No, or just give us like an average.
Like one of the cryptos.
Like one of the things, like you saw your phone and you were like, oh, shit.
The most? So I basically... So when we went to Beverly Hills, we met the Blue Wizard.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Closer to the mic.
Is that what was?
Get closer to the mic.
His name's David, right? We went to Beverly Hills. We can
call him Blue Wizard.
Yeah, we can call him Blue Wizard. So we went and met the Blue Wizard.
This
was like the 4th, 5th time or whatever. I remember I never had this wooden plank of different meats and escargot or different cheeses and whatever.
Snail and
whatever. I don't know what it's called.
Dinner.
Cherry or cooler, whatever board it is. It was $100 and some, and he usually pays $500 to $800 for dinner or lunch after we're done, leaving tip and whatnot. But I met him. The one I made the most on was, I think, Shiba. Well, technically it would be his coin. He made this coin called, I don't want to get it wrong.
I invested in Dogecoin because of you. I asked you.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Man, I made like $60,000 from Dogecoin.
Bro, I only made like $200.
Shit.
Hey, it was $200 I didn't have. Hey, that's free money, like you said.
That's better than nothing, right?
Shoot, because I was broke when I asked you that. I was really broke. I was going through my divorce. I was losing my house. I wasn't selling anything because I was all depressed. And I remember asking you, you know what? I'm just gonna invest $20.
Uh-huh.
And then I kept putting like money, like 20. Yeah, I made $200 that I ended up using because I was broke. Selling it, but still, I wasn't bad at all.
It's definitely worth it. You just have to know someone that knows someone and all that.
Yeah,
but
like, you remember that Doge guy that on YouTube that became really famous because he was almost like...
Everyone made millions from Doge.
Yeah.
I put like $200 in it. It was actually a joke.
Uh-huh.
Me and my neighbor's like, hey, ha, look at this. You should throw some money in. I was like, man, whatever. I threw to like $200, but I got $60,000 out of $200. I'm like, okay.
You got 60 grand
from $200.
Yeah, $200.
200.
And that's not your biggest.
No. My biggest was I can't, but it was the coin that the Blue Wizard made, right? So I traded him all my Ethereum, and then I got this coin, And he took us to dinner. He told us, you're going to be whales, basically. I don't know if you know what a whale is. But he's like, you're going to be the whales. So we're like, you know how I don't know if it was the Rockefellers or the Rothschilds, the ones that fucked up the
probably the Rockefellers.
I think it might have been Rothschild, whichever one. You know, they withdrew all their money out of the bank.
Yep.
And then it crushed the economy, right? We're basically them for this coin.
Yeah.
So he was like, you can't pull out what you have to wait 2 months, and then you can pull out 10%. But 10% would be like thousands and thousands of dollars. And I'm watching it go up, right? So I gave him like, I want to say 10 or 20 Ethereum or something for all his coins that he had made, because he created his own crypto. And I was because we had a driver. Me and my business partner had a driver that he had hired and took on. And we're in the car. I'm asleep, and he wakes me up. And he's like, oh, how's it feel to be a millionaire? And I'm like, what? And I look at my account, and I got $7 million in there. $7 million fucking dollars. And I'm like, what? Ha! We're flipping out in the car.
Is that right? Is that a glitch?
Yeah. Right, 7 million in this coin that, you know, the Blue Wizard had made. So our driver, he's new to this. You know, I had been in it. I had seen the ups and downs. I know, like, cryptos, you got to be ready to lose all your money if you're going to be in it, right?
Yeah.
He's just getting in it. He's like, oh, I don't like this guy. The Blue Wizard or David or whatever, and yada, 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 yada. So we're like, don't sell. He said 10% every 2 to 3 months. So this fucker, our driver, goes and just sells. He's a whale too. I'm a whale. My business partner's a whale. All the people we had at that dinner were whales, basically. So him selling basically did the same thing as the Rothschilds or Rockefellers, whoever the fuck it was, when they pulled out all their money, and it made everyone go into a panic, and that plummeted the coin. And then my 7 million went to like fucking 7,000.
So
why?
How long did it take for that to happen?
Months.
Not even months. It was like,
to lose? Within minutes.
It happens like so sudden. He sells, everybody's like, what's happening?
And the thing is that sometimes you're trying to sell, and
it restricts you.
Exactly.
Yeah, you have to wait because of the amount of people that are trying to sell at that point.
Yeah,
it's like
everything gets cluttered.
So pretty much you guys were millionaires, right?
Yeah, for a brief period.
And then, but then the guy that was driving for you guys, he sold all his stuff. So he stayed a millionaire, I'm assuming.
No. Because when he converted it, with how it was dropping, because it's dropping while you're converting it. They're like, oh shit, that everybody's pulling out because you did this, and because it takes so long, and then everybody backs up the queue, and by the time he got it, he only got some thousands of dollars too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, and that's I've heard this before with crypto, is that what they do is, like, for example, YouTubers, they control crypto sometimes. They tell everybody, hey, go buy this coin. And then everybody, they have 5 million subscribers. They go buy that coin. That coin gets super expensive, right? And then suddenly they just start taking. They might take little chunks, like you were saying. Like, they might be taking 5%, 10%, little by little, and then it goes up again, or who knows. But they have the capability of basically removing the entire thing, and then once they do, everybody panics, and then sell, and that's exactly what happened. That's why you see like Bitcoin going from 60 to 30 in within days, within a couple hours.
Yeah, it's volatile. It's the most volatile thing I've ever seen.
Do you believe that crypto can be used as a currency, like a regular currency?
Yeah.
I know I've used it before. I'm sure you have.
Because it's based on, kind of like what's happening. It's like our dollar, obviously everyone knows at this point, is plummeting.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's plummeting. And then I talk to people, they're like, oh, you're crazy. You do all these things. Yes, our dollar's plummeting. We're at war. We're doing all these things. You should pick up a newspaper or go on Google, look at some stuff. I stay up till 4 to 6 a.m., so I'm always reading some shit. But yeah, our dollar's trash. This is why I buy things like gold. This is why I got all this. They think, oh, you're doing this to be flashy. No, it's that I hit on crypto.
That too, but it doesn't matter. You deserve it. You work for it.
It's an investment that you can use to upgrade your appearance while making money from it. Since I've bought these, I've made a lot of money because gold is going up because our dollar's going down.
No, and not only that, I feel like when you dress a different way that everybody does, it brings you look different. You give a different vibe.
The amount of people I see staring at me when I'm flying down the street on my electric scooter is crazy. Like they're literally just like, who is this dude? He's blinding me.
When I go to court, you know, I go with my suit and everything, you know, because just because of where I'm from, that's how you're supposed to do. Just put a suit on and everything look good, look presentable. You know, everybody thinks like I'm the attorney. I'm like, no, I'm being sued. I'm the one being sued, but I'm the only one attorney if that counts, you know,
right?
Without the certificate.
The suit makes you look so good. It's just like sharpens your appearance.
It does. I think everybody should have a suit. Every man should have at least a suit that fits well too.
You have to be tailored.
Tailored, yes. Yeah. It's not even that expensive
and
to get it
tailored. It makes you feel like you're important. Like I had this chick, she was Russian or whatever she was. I don't remember. You know, I have a hard time telling the difference. But she was sizing me up, and it just makes you feel more confident. Like, this is for me.
It makes other people feel different. It's not some suit
on the rack. They're molding it, you know, sculpting it basically to fit me. So that way when I go like this, it stays exactly the same length. It doesn't shorten. It's an amazing feeling.
Very
Every man
important.
should get a tailored suit at least once.
I can tell you that because of my suit, because of me wearing a suit, I've known people that I would have never known. I've gotten jobs that I would have never gotten. Mm-hmm. Like, because of my suit, people see me different. A lot different. They see me more professional, even though I barely speak English, man. Like, I barely do. So they think I'm like somebody important, you know? Mm-hmm. No, not really.
People gonna spend their money on a suit.
Exactly. You know? But it's so important that you get it tailored. It's so important because it look. What do you think it's a good investment now? After, because we all know that crypto. No, not necessarily crypto, but anything else, because we all know that the dollar is plummeting, right? And then like, for example, I tell my mom she has money saved up, and you need to get rid of that cash.
Rolexes, houses, gold.
Oh, you should have said that before, man. I gotta tell my wife I gotta go buy a Rolex.
Yeah,
I'll go buy it right now.
Since the pandemic hit,
an investment, baby.
Rolexes have gone up the most, then houses, and then gold. Like, I made, just from the 24 karat bracelets I have on my feet and on my legs and my arms, I bought these when they were at around like $1,800 per 18 to 2019 or whatever per ounce. Mm-hmm. And now they're what, 22, 23? Something like that. After taxes and all, right. You buy it from J.M. Bullion, you're going to pay like 23 or something, 24 around there. It's constantly going up too because our dollar's plummeting. So I'm constantly making money from the shit that I have on. So,
and it's literally investments that you have been doing throughout the years.
So it's the gold, and gold is in last place as compared to housing. Housing's in the middle, and Rolex is somehow at the top. My boy, he bought a $6,000 Rolex, and right now, he bought it right before COVID, and then COVID hit and all that happened. Now it's $10,000. The same Rolex he bought for $6,000.
And he can still wear it.
Still wear it.
He can take it.
And he made $4,000 from it. So those are the investments you want to look at.
I've been wanting to buy an Omega for a long time.
An Omega
watch.
Oh,
the Omega. We used to have one in Roseville store. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like the same category of Rolex. You know, Rolex is like higher. I think. I don't know much about watches. I just like them. Yeah. I like watches a lot. I do have some watches. You know, I'm curious now. Rolex. I'm curious now how much my watches are. Like, I didn't spend that much money on them. You know, mm-hmm. I didn't spend thousands of dollars, but hundreds of dollars. And I'm curious now. I'm gonna look them up. You know, but the nice thing about, because I heard this from other people, that the nice thing about watches is that this is something that you make the investment, but you also can give it to your kids, your son. You know, your first son. You give the watch. And I've had it since I was
having assets, man. That's why I'm buying gold. That's why I got bars. It's about assets. You learn because people have this. They're mistaken by thinking you can take money and just put it under your mattress. You can't do that. You take $1,000, you put it in your mattress.
Paper,
you look
man.
at it next year, it's gonna be like $900, or it'll be the same number, but it'll be worth 900 or worth 800 or whatever it depreciated to.
Yeah, inflation alone. I mean,
right.
So a lot of things something I want to point out is that there's a difference between investing in something that it's gonna give you money over time, like a watch, like jewelry and stuff like that, and there's also things that you can invest into that will give you money back, like it will continue
like
making money. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So like a house and things like that. So, and in that perspective, do you own anything that is producing money, like what they say, passive income? Is there any passive income that you have going on right now, or is it just mainly investments? I'm sure you're doing eBay still, right?
Yeah.
You're still doing hustling.
I did something last night. You can just you can be eating some whatever, eating your dinner and just kind of do eBay while you're watching YouTube.
So what do you do? Before you answer, well, you can answer that question and I'll ask you another one because I'm curious about eBay.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you have that is providing you money as a passive income source? Or you don't have any?
I don't think anything like that. I just don't touch and it makes me money.
Right, something like that.
I think it would only be the gold and the land that we have because we haven't put a house on the land yet, but we actually have land in Magalia. It's like on the shoulder of paradise, that place that burned down.
Okay,
land's really cheap out there, so if you got some investment.
Well, not long ago. That's funny that you mentioned that. Not long ago, I was looking into land because I saw that you can buy the land and then put an Airbnb for camping, right? For camping.
Mm-hmm.
So literally all you need is the land, just cut the grass and then put the sign there, camping.
Yeah.
And then put it on Airbnb. It is a camping. They bring their own tent, they bring their own stuff. Mm-hmm. You don't need a bathroom, you don't need water, they bring their own stuff.
Yeah, you're providing the land for them.
There's the land. Mm-hmm. And I was looking at some land by about 40 minutes away from Yosemite. We all know how hard it is to go camping in Yosemite.
Yeah.
So I was like 40.
Yeah, because it's so hard.
Right. The only reason I didn't buy is because first I didn't go look at it because it's 3 hours away. It shouldn't be an excuse, but still. And then on Google Maps, it looked like it wasn't flat. So I didn't have the money to invest into getting it out flat and make it all, at least that, Mm-hmm. I think it would have been a worth investment because 40 minutes away is not that much. I would have taken, I would take an offer. Like I will go camping 40 minutes away from Yosemite.
Yeah.
I definitely would. Like if for a couple bucks, I go camping there. I go to drive to Yosemite 40 minutes and then 40 minutes back and then go back to camping. I mean, mm-hmm. I think that would have been a good investment, but I didn't back then. But yeah, so you have some land out there that you're planning on getting some construction going on.
Yeah, we
planning to buy a house.
Bought like a quarter acre. We wanted to buy the other quarter acre on the side of it. And just have a half acre, put a house, do whatever we want. It's a really nice place. It's deer and rabbit running around.
Oh, nice.
It's just like I told my brother, we can buy land anywhere, but this place was rich before it got burned down, and now they're trying to rebuild it. So that means automatic appreciation. So you could buy a place somewhere else that's going to automatically appreciate because of the times, right?
Right. You keep that for 20 years.
You have that plus the appreciation of they're trying to rebuild this city is going to automatically appreciate just because of how our dollar works and the economy and whatnot. Then you have this where they're trying to put in effort to build this place, restricting you from buying this place because it's for where the old retirement homes were and this and this and that. So it's going to be built up again. So that's even more appreciation on top of what you're going to actually get, just the normal amount, right? So it was the best pick. It was the best opportunity. 10 years from now, the place is gonna be worth a lot.
Yeah.
So we're thinking ahead. We're thinking, for the future.
Of course.
We're all getting old. We gotta figure out a place to go when you can't work and break your back from McDonald's anymore, right?
Of course. So on eBay, where do you get the stuff that you sell on eBay? Like, how do you do that? I know there's a lot of YouTube videos about it, but I want to know how you do it. You go to Ross. You just find something. You just buy something off of anybody.
I actually created a whole circle of places to go to, like thrift stores, Goodwills, all types of thrift stores, all that. In Sacramento, I made a map. It was a huge circle. I start where I live, and then I go to like Fair Oaks area, hit all those. Go up to like North Highlands area, hit all those. Go to like West Sac and South Sac, all that over there, and it just made a huge circle. And I come all the way back around to my house. But I don't even have to do that because all the people that taught me how to do it and everyone else always has something to sell. People are always in a bad position. So I just buy their stuff. It's like being the garage sale or the garage, storage wars. It's like storage wars, but I don't have to compete. I just buy people's stuff.
He didn't tell me too much about you before you came here, right?
Oh, okay.
He just said, "Hey, I used to work with this guy. He invested in crypto. He did very well." Right?
That's it.
That's it.
Oh,
and then you came here. You tell me. So you're from Oakland, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know you're from Oakland. You became homeless. You worked hard. You worked pretty hard jobs.
I was a professional clown.
You were a professional. That's the first thing you told me, and I was like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah,
he's a professional.
I was gonna work
clown.
for Cirque du Soleil.
Cirque du Soleil, yeah, that's one of the biggest circuses that they have shows of that in Las Vegas. That's the biggest circus in the world.
Yeah,
right. That's not like any kind of circus.
What did you do there? Oh, just Joe.
In my opinion, I would have fit better in Ringling Bros because they were more my style things. Like I told you, I did trapeze, tight wire. I jumped on big balls and juggled fire and rode this unicycle called the Giraffe and all that shit. Cirque du Soleil is a totally different type of circus. They're amazing.
It's like a big
but
show,
it's like,
right?
Yeah, it's a show, but they're not like normal clowns. Like Ringling Bros are closer to what I did. You know, they're jumping and doing stuff and with tigers and all these tricks and stuff. Cirque du Soleil was like art. It was closer like art.
It's like they're more into the show business, right?
Yeah, it's hard like to explain the differences. Because they almost don't seem like a circus. When you think of circus, you think of clowns juggling stuff and doing all this crazy tricks. With them, it's like it's just this weird art form, like but you have to appreciate it because it's so amazing.
I've been a couple of their shows in Vegas, and I was just wow. You know, it's like
it's so different.
Yeah.
But the fact that they wanted me, I was like, oh, I'm honored. You know, I didn't expect to be picked up. I thought we were just there to see a free show and to practice.
Yeah, because as far as I know, like when they are in the circus business, like everybody's family.
Yeah,
like literally they have their kids in the circus, like in the circus. Yeah, the kids
you grow up
they grow up on there, you know, and they have homeschool basically. That's how I understood that circus worked.
Yeah,
you know, so they picked you, like
they picked me out of everybody, out of the whole Prescott clown troupe. They seen us performing or practicing. They were like, "Hey, you come here. We want to talk to you." And that's when my teacher got mad, Miss Eileen Moffitt. Yeah, she started not letting me perform, and
she's still on Google. Right?
I looked at her the other day. I was like, "Wow." When they talk about the Prescott clown troupe, they mention her name. I'm like, oh, if they had only known how much of
wow
person she was.
And then you're related to who?
Oh, I'm related to Willie McGee.
So the baseball thing. I didn't know about the baseball thing. Yeah. I didn't know about the homelessness. So he was homeless for a bit, and then you ended up
walks of life.
You ended up working guys together, right?
Aaron's the one that got me in there. He's like, "Oh, you don't need to be at Rubio's. You got too much charisma for Rubio's. Let's get you in quality first. You'll be good."
I think another factor that happened in your life is not you. It sounds like there's a lot of friends that you had that helped you out, that brought you over, and all that stuff. And
definitely,
it sounds like it's not because you were lucky to find these friends. I feel like it's something has to do with you. You were picked by the clowns. You were picked by your friends because of your personality, not really much about anything else but your personality, the way that you are. They saw something on you that, man, I'm gonna help this guy. Mm-hmm. You know, it's
not very many people stick their neck out on the line like they did.
Because you mentioned a lot of people. A lot of people have been in your life that helped you out, that helped you get out of the hole, get out of the problems, right?
Yeah.
And that's and I'm like thinking, okay, well, did I surround myself like that? Maybe not. Maybe yes. Or maybe I didn't take the opportunity that people try to take me, that try to help me. Maybe I didn't do it. Maybe you did, and I didn't. Mm-hmm. You know, maybe that's probably what happened. I don't know. But it's interesting. It's interesting that you went through so much, man.
Yeah. Well, you write a book.
That's what I said. I was like, I should write a book just from the experience of just the crypto experience. My business partner was telling me we should get GoPros.
Bro, but that's just one small section of your whole like life. Like I said, me sitting when I first got here, all I knew was the crypto, right? Mm-hmm. And now there's a bunch of chapters to this book.
Yeah, it goes on and on, man. Like some of the stuff,
and it's not over yet. You still got a long ways to go, more chapters to write. So,
what's your age, Mike?
36.
You don't look 36, but
man.
I think it's the kale and the spinach, maybe. I don't know. Or not stressing.
Popeye the Sailor Man.
I smoke a lot.
Yeah.
Smoke a lot. I don't really drink that often. I don't do anything else. Good old fashioned.
You still have THC so much to go for. Like, dude, like you barely. You at 36, the point that where you at right now, it's pretty good. And then imagine like how much, if you look at yourself six years from now, when you were 30, how much you grew in 6 years. Imagine how much more you can do in the next 6 years. Yeah. And that goes to everybody. Like whoever is 30 years old and looks at themselves 25 years before when they were 25, how much you have grown from 25 to 30.
It goes in 2-year intervals.
Is it?
From what I've noticed, it's 2-year intervals. That's like when you look at your kid, you don't notice the growth within 6 months to a year. When it hits 2 years, you're like, holy shit, they sprouted. It's with everything. I've noticed with my nephew Evan. I watch him because kids are how you really notice it. They sprout like fucking weeds.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, he's 4 now, and he's talking, and it's the way you deal with him. Don't do baby talk. My brother was really adamant about not doing baby talk, all that shit. No, he talks to Evan like he's a normal person, and Evan's like adept for a 4-year-old. He's talking about, I believe you feel this way, and I want this, and yada yada. He's just like so vocal and so aware of things. You don't diminish their abilities and their capabilities with treating them like a kid. That was the whole issue I had with my parents. I was more advanced as a kid than I should have been, and I remember asking my dad about money. I was like, what is this about money? I realized there's this thing I need, which is money, but I can't acquire it, and everything runs off me. Like, and I asked him the wrong way to ask him. I said, how much money do you make? What I really meant was explain money to me. He said, you don't ever ask a man about his money, and yada yada. Damn, it took my head off. But I learned why you don't.
Wait, is that like? You don't ask a man his money? Is that kind of like asking a woman her age?
Yep. You don't do that. There's these things you don't do. Yeah. And I learned that from him. You don't ask a woman about her age. You don't ask a man about how much he makes. Yeah. Unless
it's for good purpose.
Yeah. There has to be a reason behind it. Yeah. Which he didn't understand my reasoning, which was just teach me how the world works.
Know how the money works.
But I know how to phrase it because I was a kid,
Yeah.
But from that, I learned. I started saving my older brother's money. I was like a bank for him, and he told me, you've always been good with money. Like, yeah, it's just I realized it was a necessity, so I dealt with it accordingly, and here I am.
I'm like, so going back to the tablet thing, right? I was sort of the same way as you are. Like when I was a teenager, I would not spend a dime in McDonald's or drugs or anything like that. I will not spend a dime. But you will walk into my room, bro. You will see 2 screens, badass fucking computer, fucking light, the keyboard with lights and mouse with lights. Back in the day, it was like a new thing, right? You will see shit like that. My cousin will come in and be like, how the fuck do you afford that shit? I'm like, bro, I don't spend my money. I all my birthday money, like all my shit, like I save it.
You invest in yourself.
Yeah, I buy my shit, Yeah. That's why I'm so fucking broke, because I buy shit. I keep buying shit.
How many tablets you own?
Right now, actually, yes.
I've seen at least
1, 2,
5.
bro.
I'm thinking 5. I'm thinking 5 at least.
Well, that I use one.
How many computers you got?
Shit. 1, 2, 3. I got 3 PCs.
Well, I met this guy in high school, right? I think the first time I went to...
Yeah, I've been rocking that long.
To his room, to your house. I forgot what it was. I came over to your house, went to your room, then I see all this... I think it was like 2 desktops, and I was like, dude, like, what are you... And like back then, computers,
sound system, all that shit.
Like computers was not that big of a thing because this was like the
he looking
2005, 7, 2008,
2007, 8.
So like computers were already a thing, but the way that he had, like the way he had it set up,
I had a custom,
like
build.
Everything custom, the lights, and I'm like, whoa, dude, like.
I've always been like that, man. I've always been like that. I like technology, man. I spent all my money on that shit.
Dexter's Lab.
I love Dexter's Lab.
That's how I felt when he opened the door to his room. I was like, wait a minute, like what's all this technology? I don't know.
Now you open the door of my house, you fucking toys on the floor and shit like that.
Yeah, you brought it back at Dexter's Lab.
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of people probably don't know who Dexter's Lab is.
You remember the side? What was it? The side
that
of it
was
like Justice League or Justice Friends. Man. I think it was Justice Friends with Crunk and Val Hallen.
I think it was the Justice League.
No, because I think the Justice League is like the Marvel DC stuff or whatever. I think it was Justice Friends. It was like the dude that was Crunk that was supposed to be like the Hulk. It was the Captain America type wannabe. I forget his name. And then there was Val Hallen, the dude with the guitar and the blonde hair. He's like, yeah, dude. And he has rainbows coming out of his guitar and shit.
Oh man, that's a little bit before my time, man. That's a little bit before my time. Yeah, but I know which one you're talking about. I know exactly which one you're talking about.
And I realized my brother was flaming. He's like, what the fuck? I met some people that I didn't know what Jurassic Park was. I'm like, yeah, nigga, you're kind of getting old. We don't look like it, but we're kind of getting old. Like, I mean, 36 is nowhere near old. Once you hit 50, it's like, okay, now you gotta start thinking about some shit differently. But 36 is still, you're not young, you're not old.
For men.
Like in this weird...
For men.
For men. Women are done at usually around age 28 to 30.
Yeah, that's why we get a lot of dislikes on our videos, because we talk shit like that, but it is the truth.
I mean,
it's the facts.
If you don't like what I'm saying, don't burn me. Burn the white coats. I call them white coats. The scientists who do all the work and put it in the books. Go after them. I just read. Read and I spit facts.
I can have babies when I'm 50. My dad was 50 when I was born. Like I can still have babies when I'm 50.
Leonardo DiCaprio dumps chicks at 25
and
26.
Know.
I was like,
top G, man.
I've been dealing with chicks, and I shit you not, at age 26 is when they start talking to me about kids. So, hey, you ever thought about this? I'm like, this is why Leo dumps y'all. it just clicks. Like they're like, oh no, I don't want no kids, I want this and that. I'm about having, was it summertime, whatever the fuck they call it, hot summer, hot girl summer and all that shit. But once they hit 26, not 25, 26, and they're like, okay, now I gotta start thinking about shit differently. Mike, I need a baby from you. And I'm like, whoa.
See, they got a time clock
and we don't.
We don't.
And you can't tell them that, or they're gonna come at you with torches and pitchforks. I'm telling you, I done been attacked I don't know how many times for my views. I'm like, okay, so this is the thing. I got flamed for talking about Hitler, right? I was like, look, think about Hitler from his people's perspective. He was a great man. They're like, oh, so you back Hitler? And I was like, no. When did I say I backed Hitler? I'm just saying, because my comment was Hitler was a great speaker. He had the ability to basically woo a crowd.
I mean,
like,
that is the truth. Those are facts.
Is it right?
That's a fact.
But they're flaming me because I even brought up Hitler, and that's how it goes with women. It's just feminism and all these other different things. I'm just bringing stuff up that I've learned. They're like, oh, you're a horrible person. Like all the shit I've received from the stuff I say on Facebook, yet I allow transgenders in my home on my couch. One of them, Mallory, even said it. How are y'all against Mike when I'm literally on his couch right now? He doesn't hate transgenders. No, I don't. I've said it before. I think I know where you're coming from. You don't necessarily dislike
the person, you dislike what they do.
I have an issue. I respect how you feel. You're a man transitioning to a woman. I respect that. But you have no authority over me and my way of thinking. You can't force me to think this way. And when you do that, that's when I go into defense curl. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you know what that is. It's a Pokemon attack. But I go into defense curl.
Put the mic in the middle. Because the light needs to turn green for when you talk.
Okay.
There you go.
So yeah, I go into defense curl basically. Like when you're telling me how I need to think, that's when you just automatically lose. It doesn't even matter if you're right. It's just the fact that you're trying to tell me how to think.
Exactly.
Because I don't tell you how to think. I give you suggestions. I tell you my perspective on things. And the fact that I'm being hunted with pitchforks and torches makes no sense. Because when they all come to me, when they're not on social media and there's this barrier in between us, when they're face to face and I discuss my way of thinking, my perspective on things, they all agree with me.
Yeah, they don't have an argument.
You
can't argue with facts. You cannot argue facts.
You can't. And I even make them feel bad afterwards. Like they're like, wow, yeah, you were judging me and you thought I was this totally different person. No, I'm just about the facts and what's real. This is a microphone. This is a guard to stop my spit from hitting the microphone. This is, I don't understand why I'm faulted, but everyone's in their feelings and I get that. So this is why I had to take a step away from social media because I was just getting flamed. I even had to chew out someone who I've loved as a person. His name was Griffin. But he came to the defense of someone who I was just trolling. And I'm like, bro, I'm here just trolling. But I had to chew him out because it's just what he said. And it just made me feel some kind of way. Like, maybe I should take away from social media and just
I've had conversations like that. Like,
yeah.
I've had conversations
where
I'm
losing friends.
Yeah, and then they write a big ass paragraph all about the feelings, which don't make any sense, and then I'm like, I don't got time for this stuff, man. Like, I don't. Just do whatever you want. Just whatever.
I respect everyone in the decision, but you can't. This is the thing. If you don't believe in God, that's fine. I don't hate you as a person. I wish that you could show me how it is you don't believe in God. But for you to tell me that I'm forced to not believe in God is when we need... hold on. Back the fuck up. Now there's an issue. You can't force me to think this way. Just like I can't tell you you can't be a woman. Mm-hmm. Right? You can be whatever the fuck you want to be. In your mind. But you can't force me to think a certain way. And that's where we differ. That's where the issues arise. It's like, how can I respect you? Yeah. I respect you and what you think, but you don't respect me, basically. And when I bring that to everyone arguing against me, they have nothing to fucking say.
Like they'll say, like, women hitting the wall. Like, dude, they do hit the wall.
There is a wall. It's called Father Time. Father Time, this is the thing. Father Time stops for no man or woman. He doesn't care. I see it in myself. I used to be 20-something, and I was used to getting asked all the time, have you ever thought about modeling? Have you ever thought about this and this? Now I don't get asked that in my 30s. But I still look decent. I still feel like I look decent, but I can tell from my 20s to my 30s, I've lost something. I've gained a lot of experience, but I've lost that youthfulness. That, you need to be a model. I literally, in Maryland, I had this fat dude run up to me. He was in the suit. He's like, sweating and shit. Hey, you ever thought about modeling? I'm with Naomi, the Jewish chick I was dealing with at the time. And I'm like, who the fuck are you? What the fuck is this guy? I mean, you're sweating. You ran across the street to find me. So he asked me meet him. We get in this car. He's talking about, basically he was going to pimp me out to some white ladies and different stuff. He's going to have me fucking all these different white chicks. And I'm like, I'm cool with that, whatever. But then he starts talking about, you got to lick my titty and sniff my shoe and treat me like a woman. I was like, wait a minute. And I remember asking him, is this what you have to go through to be a model? He's like, no. I'm like, well, why am I going through it? And that's the type of shit I be asking me, like, get quiet. So he gives me $50, tells me go get some weird shrimp shit from this place, and then I never see the guy again.
That's so like, weird, man.
If I had been anyone else, he would have probably did some weird shit to me.
Dude, I've been watching this podcast with Richard the Barber.
The Barber?
Richie the Barber. He's in LA. He's an actual clown. He's tattooed. He has no makeup. It's all tattoo. And he talks about, it's funny that you mentioned that because he talks about all these celebrities, you know, that they're all satanic and all that. And then what you just said right now, it kind of like proved me like, okay, all this people that have so much money, they probably get so much pussy. They probably get so much that they become something else, or I don't know what it is, but all fucking gay.
So you know, when I was on those, we call them Bitcoin adventures, right? And shit, my business partner was like, "Oh, we needed a GoPro for this." Mm-hmm. I realized during that point in my life that all the movies that I had witnessed were real. It's someone's perspective of something that they put into a movie, because everything I experienced was from a movie. Like I've literally been in this. Okay, when you go to MGM Grand, right? Mm-hmm. There's this place. When I've been to the MGM, I don't know how many times, and I've never noticed this fucking place because it's like hidden in plain sight, but you only get there when you're rich. So I'm walking. We're in the normal casino. You make this right, and you see double doors down there. You're like, oh, it feels like I'm gonna leave the casino. So you're walking towards it, and then randomly you look to the right, and there's this gigantic golden gate. You're like, what the fuck? Where did this come from? Before you get to those double doors, so you go through the golden gate. There's security to the left, and there's the high stake tables to the right. You're like, oh shit, right? Oh, normal people don't get in here. You keep walking down this like aisle or this path, and there's golden pictures and all types. So you feel like you're in a fancy museum. You go straight, make it right, you go straight, and then you see this guy at a desk. He's like, I call him the last line of defense. He's basically the guy who calls whoever is only Jay-Z, Beyonce, and famous people get into this place, right? So he calls them. He's like, hey, are you expecting this person? Okay, yeah, okay, I'll let him in. He buzzes you in. You go through, you see this fat-ass water fountain and like a TV the size of, it's like 3 times the size of this wall right here. Damn. Heated swimming pools, all types of crazy shit, right? I'm in here, and there's literally a pile of cocaine about this big, and it goes about right here.
Damn.
Right? Cocaine on a platter. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? I've never been here. Every room you go to has like these huge doors you open up, and there's chocolates on the pillows and all this fancy shit, right? Like I said, the pool was heated. But the waiter guy or whatever, he worked for the casino. I could tell by his uniform, came in. But he's like specifically for this section of entertainment or whatever they have there. He caters to the people that are buying this place out. He comes in, he has these sandwiches. They look like fucking $5 sandwiches, $10 sandwiches or whatever. I'm assuming they were $50, $30. Yeah. He's like, oh, hello. And I'm flipping the fuck out because he comes in. I'm like, this is a person who works here. There's a gigantic pile of cocaine on the table. What the fuck? He says, oh, hello. He was an Asian dude. He giving everybody their sandwiches. Pretends he doesn't even see this gigantic pile of cocaine, which I'm the only one flipping out about because everybody else is like, hey, we're high as fuck. We don't care. We know how shit goes. When you're rich, there are no rules. This is why when rich people get put in prison, they're like, oh, you see, they're so surprised. Because they know that there's no rules for them.
Damn, that's crazy.
This is an employee of MGM Grand. Wow. And I feel like I'm going to get someone in trouble saying this, but there's just cocaine. Think about it. From here to there, it made a pyramid. And they're just snorting off the shit. Then we go out and they're talking. I remember this guy. His name was Mike as well. So I'm Mike. My business partner's Mike. And then this one white dude's name is Mike. He's talking about this $50,000 Rolex that he got. And he's mad because there's a waiting line for these other $100,000 Rolexes that he wants, but he can't get it because of the waiting line. I'm like, holy shit. I know people that would chop your wrist off and just run off with your shit. The fact that you exist. And I know people who are in poverty makes no sense. I'm just getting my mind blown this entire time I'm dealing with this shit.
That's what Andrew Tate sometimes he says, that you don't know how many people are rich until you become rich.
Until you become
Everybody's rich.
And you see how they operate and you're like, wait a minute. This is why shit's the way that it is. There are no rules. There are no rules. Once you exceed a certain amount of income, there are no rules for you. And I got to live that for like a couple of weeks. or a month or so. And I'm like, it was actually, I couldn't wait to get back to Sacramento after all that. I was like, I just need some normalcy. I thought Sac was trash. I'm like, it's boring. There's nothing here. But after all that shit, I was like, I need to get back to Sac and just normalize myself.
Damn.
Like, imagine waking up. I woke up and I'm like, oh, what is this breakfast? There's like bagels and all this different shit. I'm like, how much was this? He's like, my business partner's like, why do you always have to ask that? I'm like, you know how I am. I'm frugal as fuck. He's like, breakfast was $300. I'm like, what the fuck? For some bagels and cream cheese and fruit? Well, but that's what happens when you live in Vegas. You open your windows up, you can see all of Vegas and everything. Yeah, you paying $300 for breakfast. God, and it's just something I had to grow accustomed to and adapt to, you know. Like,
there goes the tablet that you wanted to buy.
Right? For some fucking fruit. I'm like, why is this worth more? Because it's in a suite. If you're in a suite and you're ordering stuff, it's 10,000 times worth more. Right?
Because of the pyramid.
Do you even know what it's called? The Hidden Mansions in the MGM. I stole the matches. There's some long ass. I stole the thing so I can tell people, look, nigga, this exists. We don't know about it, but it exists. It's the Hidden Mansions in the MGM.
Dang.
That's what it's called. The Hidden Mansions in the MGM.
I knew about them. They're like little mansions.
It looks like you're in Italy.
They have their own pool. They have
exactly. It's heated. The TV, like I say, the size 3 times the size of this.
Oh wow.
This wall. Jay-Z, Beyonce, all famous people go there. So the fact that I was in here, I'm like, I'm not supposed to be here.
I'm from the hood, bro.
So we go to this meeting. I call it the ass licking meeting, right? Because so it's a bunch of rich people. We go to this suite. We're in the Cosmopolitan. We're in the Cosmo this time. This was before the MGM shit. We went to the Cosmo. I met this dude Xavier. He's riding around in an electric wheelchair up there. I made $1 million. He crashed into the wall and all types of shit, right? So I get there and I immediately spotted the most richest guy in the room. I was like, oh, Hawaiian shirt, not giving a fuck about anything. That's the richest guy in the room, right? I concluded that. So we go through this thing that I call the ass licking circle, where every rich person, everyone gets in the circle and they're like, oh, my name's whatever the fuck. I'm the CEO of blah, 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 blah. I'm worth this much. Oh. So we go to the next guy. I'm this, I'm that.
Golf club, right?
Yeah, you know, oh shit. Okay, we're all getting to know each other basically. It's like in preschool when you got around in a circle, it was the same shit. Then they get to me. The Hawaiian guy was just fucking filthy rich. Yeah, we get to me. I'm like, oh, I'm Mike. I work at Rubio's and I'm a professional gamer. And everyone's like,
the fuck?
Oh, well, you're here somehow, so fuck it. We're going to give you a round of applause. You made it here somehow. And that's what it was. I didn't give a fuck. My business partner told me, when you come in, just don't drink all the alcohol. Just don't drink the alcohol. Don't embarrass us and drink all the alcohol. Sure. I know you can drink all the alcohol. Just don't. You don't have anything to prove.
Well, that's like, the kind of meetings I go to.
He was monitoring me too.
I'm alcoholic.
So I'm meeting, but man, the Hawaiian shirt guy. It's like it kind of makes me upset because most of the rich people that I met, they inherited what they have, and they just have this inflated ego about things. I'm like, if a guy with my work ethic was provided what you have, I'd turn that into 20 times what it is. But I can't hate on anyone because I conclude that, you know, it's all about God. It's like, I forget who told me about this, but it's like God puts a weighted cross on your back, right? And he puts the amount that you're able to endure on your back. It's never too much. It's never too little. It's just the right amount. So when you're like, oh, life's too hard, life's too this, well, you're not dead, right? So it's obviously not too much. And then it's also just what you need to develop yourself.
And it's not money that what makes you happy. We all know that. It's the experiences that we have in life. And, yeah. And then the fact, like, I appreciate, like, I've talked to my parents.
That's a lie, though. Money makes you happy.
Well, yeah.
It's just, but see, the thing is,
it's different.
I'm a happy person. Or I could be broke. I could be rich. I could be middle class. I'm happy. I've experienced all classes. And that's what I feel like most human beings need to experience to really develop themselves. I've been homeless. I've been rich. And I've been in the very fucking middle. And you just get this perspective on things. That's why everyone thinks, exactly. And that's why everyone thinks I'm crazy. I'm like, I've just experienced so much more than you that you don't understand what I'm talking about. I seem like a fucking nutcase.
a lot of people don't believe me, dude. When I was going through my divorce, when I was going through all this shit that I got into, man, like I didn't have food in the fridge.
I know that feeling.
And I know you know that feeling.
You're ready to hit somebody in the mouth.
I can tell you that I was the happiest guy I ever been. When I was the brokest I ever been, I was the happiest one. Like I was so happy because I was able to finally get my apartment, finally get a house, even though I didn't have anything in the fridge. I was still able to come out of the surface and not be homeless, basically.
You appreciate more.
I appreciate it so much. And I even thank my parents. Like, I thank you. And I have never thanked you guys. And I thank you because you guys worked so hard to get me in school, to provide me anything. I never went hungry. You guys gave me a great life. I didn't have luxury life.
I thought we were rich.
You know, my friends thought I was rich.
Everyone thought I was rich. And then I realized later, we weren't rich. My parents were just kind of manipulating the system. My mom was getting Section 8, and my dad worked at Scott's in the Berkeley City Club. So there's like, he's basically Chef Ramsay without a title. He's like the shit when it comes to cook. This man will make you some eggs that will make you piss and shit yourself because they're so good. It's like eating clouds. But we didn't know. We thought we were rich, but really, you know, they were just kind of Section 8s. I wish I could get Section 8. We had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We had a 8.5 or 9 bedroom, depending on how you want to look at it. 8.5 or 9 bedroom for $300, basically. $350. My mom was paying that for her Section 8. Imagine.
Wow.
I looked up the place, recently. They changed the gate and they changed everything. It's still the same format and everything.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, millions. Oh my God. If we had kept that place. But we didn't own it, obviously. She was on Section 8, but still.
Right. Yeah, you still didn't know either.
Yeah.
That was going to happen one day. Yeah, no. And honestly, I came to the conclusion that you can be happy by just appreciating the things that you have.
Yeah.
And then the things that really that bring value to your life. Like, for example, like even having a wife. Like, I've gone through 2 divorces, right? And then coming out finally to get one wife that actually meet my needs and actually does what I always wanted to have. Like, she's like my dream wife. Like, just that, the fact that I am able to go to the lake and spend some time with her without not even needing anything else, but just go spend time with the kids. That is so valuable. That is so rich. And you told me something on Facebook that I don't know if you remember, not long ago. You're rich and you don't even know it. And that stuck in me. I might have liked the comment or anything. I don't know if you remember, but you said you're rich and you might not even know it. And I was like, you know what?
Because of the people and the just everything you have in your life. Like, everyone bases everything on like monetary value and just money. Having someone that appreciates you for who you are is better than every single Benjamin Franklin fucking dollar you can get. It's
like your friend.
Yeah.
Your friend that got you out of homeless.
Yeah,
like,
or Anna. Like, even to this day, the fact that she went and married this guy who looks like Squidward and whatever, I'm so happy for her, because when we were together, her whole thing was just marry, just give me a ring, and and she was. I told her, I was like, you are the most amazing girl I've ever met in my life. And I did my little fortune telling ball for her. This was before we had sex. She was a virgin.
Wow.
I took her virginity and everything.
Wow.
And I was like, you are amazing. You are definitely marriage material, but I will not marry you due to your parents' pressure. I will marry you
because you want.
Because I want to. Because I'm a man. It's what I decide. I'm not gonna do this to satisfy your parents. I'm doing this because I want to. And I told her, you are marriage material. You're nothing but marriage material. Like, you,
and sometimes I could argue this point too, because something that I've thought about, because I have a daughter now, and now that I have a daughter, everything just, my perspective of women has changed, and I've learned a lot about women because
you
of
have
my daughter.
to structure them appropriately.
that the fact that a lot of women do that. They want the ring. They want the ring, but also they do have the time pressure. Yeah. Not just parent pressure, but they do have that time pressure because they're running out of time. Clock,
yeah.
That biological clock is running.
Her thing was for her parents. And that's why I was like, no, I'm not about to do that. They're not about to have me marry you. I'm going to marry you because I want to, and you're amazing. But when the Russian mafia coming, and they're not even Russian, they're Moldovan and Ukrainian. But when the European mafia, I guess I'll call it, it came down to, they took her, because I remember her cousin messaged me. She's like, that's not stuff you should be talking about. That's not Christian. Yeah, because I was talking about doing all types of weird shit to her. You know, I'm nasty with her. Like, hey, I'm gonna do this and that. Yeah. And she loved it. She went from oh, we need to get married and yada 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 to me waking up getting my dick sucked.
Yep, it takes the right guy.
Yeah, but she loved me for who I was, and I loved her. Still to this day, if she was to break up with that dude and be like, hey, Mike, I decided to go with you, I'd take her just because I know who she is and how she functions.
What was her name?
Anna Sonic.
Anna Sonic. You heard it on YouTube. If you divorce that guy, he's ready for you.
Hey, man, come back. I'm ready. He's got the ring ready. I got the ring ready. I'll pull off one of these right here.
There you
go. I got you. But nah, she, like, her and Pia Gamalicki, those were the two that set my standards for how women are supposed to treat me. I'm eating, Anna's feeding me. I'm laying on her thigh and she's just feeding me McDonald's and feeding me shit. She did everything, and I love that woman. I took care of her. The only thing that broke us up was her family. Even my mom coming at her going crazy with a knife didn't break us up. Wow. That's how I knew she was the one. But when her family came, I apparently was supposed to chase after her, which I didn't know because I was like, oh, the Russian mob came. I just must have relinquished everything at this point. She, you know, I messaged her later. She's like, you didn't even try and do this and this. I was like, I didn't know. If you had told me do these things, I would have done them. I just didn't know.
Expect you to know. Yeah, and
supposed to be a mind reader.
You're supposed to chase them. Yeah, you're supposed to be mind. But still, to this day, I have nothing but love for that woman because she showed me the light.
You know,
go ahead. No, I was just gonna say, if I didn't have her, if I didn't have the perspective that I have due to her and Pia, I would think that the women of today are okay, but they're not.
See, and I'm lucky because I do have the example of my mom. I knew how women should treat their husband with respect and all that. My mom treated my dad like a king all the time. Still to this day, he's 82, she's 60 something, she's almost 70.
Oh, you got 20 years on her. Okay.
Yeah, and then I know. My dad's a top G, man. I think
the highest one I had was like 11 years. It was me and Pia, 11 years.
Really,
but. I was 22, she was 33.
I think it was great. That one thing that I will tell my daughter, dude, my daughter is 5. And now I'm going to tell her, like, dude, like, don't listen to all this feminist stuff. Like, don't listen to that. You can get married at 18. You're my baby and all that, but you can be 18 and get married. You can be 18 to 25. After 25, you're fucked, you need to find someone ASAP. Like, ASAP. Marry the first guy, pretty much.
Women don't understand their power nowadays.
Oh, they have power.
They have all the power in the world.
They are born with that power.
They're born. They innately get their value. They're innately rewarded their value because of who they are, of how they function,
and how
what
they
use
it. They destroy it now.
Well,
they're just
getting ran
through.
It's because of social media and everything.
Social media, right? Feminists, and all this bullshit. The devil, man. All that stuff, man. Like, honestly, like, I cannot control what my daughter's gonna do, right?
But you can direct her in a way that gives her a different perspective of.
It's
all
up
the
to
other
her
women.
To listen to me.
Yeah, it is.
I cannot make her do anything, because even if I take her phone away, even if I do this, she's still gonna find a way. You know how I know that?
Oh, I know.
You know that, and I know you know that
seen others.
because I've seen others. I've gotten the girl that oh yeah, she is like she goes to church. Oh, she does this, yeah, and she also does that, and she also likes it the other way, and then also she knows things that I didn't fucking know. Like I've seen that. I've seen all that shit.
Yeah.
So all I can do is tell her, you know, if you don't do this, basically how my parents did raise me. If you don't do this, you're gonna get a better result. If you do this, you're
subjecting yourself to these different outcomes.
Exactly. That's what my parents taught me. If you drink, you may become an alcoholic. If you do take drugs, you may become a drug addict. Mm-hmm. So it is your choice to do it. I never got yelled at. I never got like for anything. They just told me, do that and you're gonna get bad results.
I mean, I was expected to be an alcoholic just based on my family. So the fact that I'm not, yet I can drink more than pretty much every alcoholic other than my dad and that Mexican guy I seen on YouTube.
You haven't seen me drink, bro.
I mean, if you're trying to take my belt, let's go. You know, I'm always down for whatever you got. You know what I'm saying? Because I just look at it like I'm getting drunk for free.
I can't drink. I gotta blow my car to start it. So I just tell you something.
Well, see, I know a person who has to do that.
That's why you drive a scooter, man.
And
do
she
it like
can't.
That's why I need to get a scooter.
She literally can't even. She can't even discuss out drinking me. And she fucked up her whole. Oh, I gotta blow into this thing. Yeah, I seen it. You gotta blow into it to start your car. And I'm like, damn, it's crazy that like I could just knock down 9 shots and think nothing of it, and you be fucking flambéed after that, right?
I'm a cheap date, dude. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm a cheap date, dude. I take a one shot.
I'm expensive date. You trying to get me drunk? I'm gonna need like 12 shots, at least, to say that I'm doing something. 6 is my normal, where I'm like, I'm no longer sober. I'm kind of feeling a little something. It's a slight buzz. And I'm like, 6 shots, really? Yeah, I know. My dad was an alcoholic. If you know a man that can take a bottle of green apple Smirnoff and go like this, and you see his Adam's apple going like that, you know you can drink pretty good, right? You can drink a lot. I drink a lot. This is why I don't drink.
Yeah.
This is why I don't drink. I'm like, I'm going to harm my body trying to get drunk. This is why I resorted to 151, like I was telling y'all. It gets the job done quick. And I got to take so many shots because it's like double the shots, right? You take 3 to 6 shots in 151, and you take a nice dab hit, you're good. You're good. But yeah, so.
But anyways, I think we're gonna finish up the podcast, man. It's been a pleasure, dude. Like I would love to have you back here. You got a lot of stories, man, and I want to learn.
We ain't even done. I feel like my older brother. Dre, like when I'm sitting around Dre, I'm the quiet one just listening to all his shit.
Let's bring him over, man. I got one more microphone.
Man, he will have you off the wall. He has all types of stories.
Bring your friends and stuff.
This is like the campfire shit you like. And y'all just sit around getting high and listening to him.
Let's do that. Let's do that.
Let's go.
All right, guys. Well, it's been a pleasure, man. Thank you for coming.
You've been our first guest.
Really?
You're officially the first guest. Yes.
What the fuck? What? Y'all already got emblems? Oh, man.
For sure, man.
I appreciate you guys.
This is Mike, our first guest. He's going to be back.
Yeah, definitely. We still got more stuff to learn from him. So definitely let us know what you guys think. Give it a like, give it a subscribe, and share the podcast. Listen it on your car or whatever. And then we'll be back. We'll see you guys next time.